The viewing of last cycle's incident will begin now, the goal of which will be to provide context to the aftermath of said incident, of which I will call the impact. We will discuss 3 periods of time within this illustrated timeline: pre-takeoff, during the transport, and the aftermath of the subsequent crash, all of which has been sourced from the recognizer's black box. 4 members boarded the aircraft at point 67 of last cycle, 2 of which were security detail, 1 being assigned as navigator, and the last one being prisoner P-1B. The aircraft had been given a directive by Commander Dyson for the transport of the prisoner to Clues Garrison for non-disclosable reasons. At point 68, the occupation personnel performed equipment and security checks before flying northeast. The prisoner was unconscious at this time. The prisoner was unconscious with a protective visor concealer until point 73, when he began to show signs of movement. P-1B acted relatively tranquilized without any resistance to his visor or restraints. At point 78, he began talking to the navigator without any awareness of his surroundings. The personnel, as instructed, did not respond. Also at point 78, there was a failure with the intake valve for the left wing's primary fuel reserve. This was noticed relatively quickly, but required a reboot and swift change of speed to reboot the intake valve without exterior repair or landing. Following this measure, the subject's awareness of his incarceration had landed itself, and now he appeared to actively resist his restraints in ascending order of subtlety. It was at point 80 when, as the aircraft was approaching a visible pass, that the prisoner activated some sort of hostile frequency, incapacitating both the guards, hindering the navigator. The prisoner was stunned in the left shoulder by the navigator after switching the recognizer to manual navigation. The personnel recovered from the effects by point 81. However, the source of the frequency appeared to be unknown. The frequency had maintained some damage to the cockpit window and steering wheel. However, everything else was largely unaffected. After securing the prisoner's unconsciousness, both security members ran a diagnostic check to look for any implants, to which their results were not known. What is known is one audible comment that the prisoner's energy levels were sufficiently low after the attack, yet rising quickly. At point 82, nearing the end of the diagnostic, the subject regained consciousness nearly instantaneously. Footage recovered shows the program incapacitated one of the security detail before fatally striking the other with his own disc. The navigator was forced into combat with the assailant for 2.6 micros. However, the aircraft was errantly still set to manual navigation. After 2.6 micros of combat, a thrown disc from the assailant broke the front cockpit window. It is believed that, had the window not been damaged previously, the window would have remained intact and the navigator would have been able to subdue the still semi-tranquilized assailant. The effect of this action granted enough force to pull all programs outside of the aircraft. At point 84, the aircraft was known to have impacted the side of a mountain, 79 miles from its origin. The legs of the aircraft's wings were sufficiently damaged by the impact, leading to unrecoverable thrusting mechanisms and fuel reserves. Both rotors were also sufficiently damaged due to strain, and the outer body of the aircraft and interior cockpit were bombarded with snow, rocks, and shrapnel from any loose equipment. The bodies of all security personnel were found in de-resoluted form relatively near the crash site. The prisoner's body is assumed to have had an impact further away as his exit from the aircraft was at a higher altitude. His body has not yet been found.
Do you read me?
Yes, I wanted to speak with you about your work.
I dealt with your people, Commander. I'm already en route back to Boron.
Turn it around. I have another job for you.
You promised me you would give my friends and I immunity, Commander. Last I heard, they're in a prison camp.
I can't give an I-class immunity. You know that.
Then why should I take your job? Are you going to duress me otherwise?
No, but my patrols will. Your manifest isn't on our registry. I can't get your friend's immunity, but I can make an exception for just one of your kind.
What's your deal?
Look at the pictures I provided. Do you see anything?
Nothing but mountains.
Look closer.
Is that a program?
My project Let Loose. The one we worked together to mystify. I'm sure you viewed the impact report.
I did. And
I want you to track and duress him. Bring his disc to me as proof of his dirresolution, and I will grant you immunity.
fine. I have no other choice.
I am very aware of your capabilities, abilities which far surpass most of my own guard. I'm sure you'll be able to handle even him. I'll provide your ship with coordinates to the crash site.